This is the funk I was playing. I'll cut into a little bit. Oh my goodness.
Oh my lord.
Do you need help with that?
I do. I do need help with
let
that.
me come around with that.
Doug, come help me.
The song, the video's titled "I Want to Die." So good.
So funny. There we go. That's lovely.
Ooh, opening a bag. That's good audio.
Yo, if
That's
I'm
great audio.
it is good
Oh,
audio.
you're literally taking your lunch break.
I am literally taking my lunch break right now.
Ruled by an iron regime right now.
I mean, technically, I am the boss now because Sharon has left.
Ooh.
But I am hungry, so I was like, I
Right.
might as well.
It's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like who was I talking to about the zucchini thing the other day? Talking to someone about the Disney thing where it's like, oh, I love zucchini.
That was a old Disney Channel.
Yeah, I forget who was like.
I was
there.
Yeah, I was there for that
It
conversation.
was a work conversation.
And here is the farmer's market where we get the fresh vegetables like cantaloupe, zucchini. Oh, I love zucchini!
Oh, I love zucchini.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh, who else was in it?
Well, this isn't a zucchini. This is a cucumber.
It's
And
almost
you're
the
just
same.
you're just eating it raw like a carrot. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
I forgot
You did that
my
once.
like tahini
No.
and lime.
Is that how you pronounce it? Tahini?
Yeah.
So zucchini.
I've only pronounced it tahini.
No.
There's no I at the end.
I thought there was an I.
No, you spell it Tajin.
What? T-A-J? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Spanish, J's make a.
Oh, see, I think we're talking
Like
about
that's-
different. What's tahin?
It's like a seasoning salt kind of, but it's like used.
We're talking about something different.
What the?
Tahini is an Indian sesame.
Oh, that's yeah. No, tahine is like a seasoning salt.
Tahine was a man who used to bully me in the 6th grade.
God damn it, Tahini, leave me alone.
Stop! Go through 5 pairs of underwear this week. You can't keep hanging me from the locker.
Atomic wedgie.
Stop it.
See, this is tahine.
Oh, of course. Of course.
You can tell that it is a Mexican spice. By
It's
the,
delicious.
The amount of red
the red, white, and
Yeah.
green
color scheme to
color
their
scheme
logo.
on their branding. On the nose.
But that's the same way I eat my watermelon, basically.
With
You just
tahini?
slap tahine on everything.
I
What-
do.
and what's
It's
it taste like?
delicious. It's kind of like a
Like a
so-
salt?
Yeah,
You
But
put
there's
salt
no-
on watermelon?
it's freaking delicious. Tahine and watermelon, tahine
You
and mangoes.
dehydrate your watermelon with salt and then you consume it. It's an interesting tactic.
I think you just might be onto something.
How many things do you put this salt on?
A lot. I put it on my eggs.
So just it's your go-to thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's like, hey,
They
made
also make
breakfast.
chamoy.
It's like oatmeal. You're like, Mom, I can't eat this.
I need a little more tahini. No, I need some more tahini.
No.
Where's my tahine?
I would not put tahine in my oatmeal. No.
I don't believe you.
But your porridge.
No.
Oh, that's another story.
I don't eat porridge.
Just drench.
How do you like your porridge?
Honestly, what's the difference between oatmeal and porridge?
Depending how toothless you are.
Yeah.
I see.
Really gum down some porridge.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's like a custard base.
It's like a cement.
Yeah, porridge.
Is it like cream and wheat?
I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. You really gum it down. No teeth.
Is it like grits?
I don't know.
I had neither of those two items.
That can, yeah, it's two of us.
I've had oatmeal, but I know it's not that. I know it's not that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Do you have a go-to oatmeal?
Rolled.
What?
Rolled oats.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking flavor.
Oh.
Me too.
I just put some like maple syrup on it and then sprinkle it with like pumpkin seeds, maybe some sliced
Oh.
banana.
Oh man, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
Because I'm like really old. and
I get the
so-
peaches and cream. I like a peaches and cream oatmeal and the like apple apple cinnamon or
Yeah,
whatever.
we just buy bulk rolled oats from the grocery store.
Are they Quaker Oats?
No.
Oh,
No. We save a little bit, a little cheddar by not buying name brand.
moolah.
Like we go to our local 24-hour grocer store.
Our local
Winco.
7-Eleven.
Yes. The local 7-Eleven.
Man, I love Winco.
Winco's great for certain things. Bulk
True.
things is like always what it's great
I
for.
don't buy my meat there, that's for sure.
Where-
I did.
I'll go to
for a while.
Albertsons.
Why? Quality or price?
Quality.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like-
You are paying a little buck for it.
Yeah, like I'll go to Winco for everything but meat.
Mm,
Literally.
What meat
everything
do you
but
buy? Are you like
chicken, some beef. Those are like the main two. The occasional pork. That's a real like wild card.
You know, if I'm feeling fancy, I'll go to the co-op. If like it.
hot take?
Yeah.
I don't like pork. I actually kind of despise pork chops.
Interesting.
Like pork
belly's
meat,
pretty good.
I think is good.
I mean, it's just bacon, basically.
Pork meat's great. Pork chops, I hate them.
Okay.
They're just so dry.
Well, that's because you're overcooking it.
I'm not the one cooking. it.
Okay,
And
well,
I've had
whoever
pork
is
chops from multiple
preparing-
places, and it's so
Like restaurants? Or-
yes.
Well, okay. Step one: don't order a pork chop from a restaurant.
I order something different every time I go to a restaurant.
Good.
Actually, I've started, I think about a year and a half ago. Every time I order something from most restaurants, I just ask the waiter what they like. Ask the waiter or
that's a
the
good
waitress.
call.
I'm like, what's your go-to? And then I'm like,
I
all right,
actually
roll
don't
with it.
eat here.
And then I'm like, can I see your manager then?
As a former waitress, when you guys ask that, it's such a big upsell because then they're gonna say one of the more expensive.
I love the New
things.
York strip.
Yeah,
the filet
exactly.
mignon, the lobster bisque.
You asked me what my favorite food at my old restaurant was. It was the seafood fettuccine, and that's $38.
Whoa.
See,
Yeah.
I'm not there to not spend money. I'm there to eat something good. And if someone recommends me something,
That's the right attitude, Nick. Which is why
because
I never eat at restaurants.
it's fair. I mean, I don't go to restaurants like probably maybe once a week.
Yeah.
And not even a restaurant actually. I don't go to sit down restaurants. Maybe every other week.
Yeah.
To the extent of maybe once a month. But like other places, like fast food places, like if I'm going to go hang out with people and I haven't eaten yet, there's probably like once or twice a week at most. And I always am like, what do you get? And then if I've already asked one person that, I kind of just small talk them into something else. Yeah. And, it helps me swindle. I'm not going to lie.
You swindle.
Are you a hustler?
I get stuff for either cheaper after like the first time or the second time, like full discounts. I once did that at like Dutch Bros and they just gave me stuff for free.
You're a real people person, though, Nick.
And sometimes you just gotta be. It's not even because I want something. I'm like going into it for free.
Could you
Sorry,
be
there's
chewing any louder, Trinity?
It's a cucumber. What am I supposed to do?
Tasha's not here today, and instead we have a horse, and we've been hand feeding it carrots. Our first guest is Lucky Day, a beautiful Clydesdale.
Hello, Nick.
Not been fed today, so we're giving him a lot of hay, a lot of carrots.
I'll only eat carrots raw.
Hey, man, that's the only way to eat them.
I had a friend
Carrots are
who
bad.
was a bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah?
And in high school, we had a trip to Disneyland. And so we took like a charter bus and he was
Just-
eating like a bunch of stuff. So he was getting ready for a competition. So the man had the full like foot long carrots. He had a bag of like 20 raw carrots.
No.
Ate them all on the bus right there. And we stayed in a hotel room. And what he did to that bathroom legit made us that were sharing the room with him have to leave. And then the room that shares a door with that like hotel room also had to leave. So like 2 a.m, there's like 8 of us just sitting outside waiting for it just to get out of there. To be fair, kind of my fault too, because
Yeah.
he's like, I really need to like, drop a number 2.
And so you were
and
like,
I was like,
go for it. You know?
No, I
It's
said,
right there, buddy.
I said, oh, I got to pee real quick. So then I went to pee. Took like 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then I took a full shower.
No.
And
Yay.
then I went to the bathroom a second time after the shower, then walked out. So I made him wait like 45 minutes. And he was literally sitting on like top of the counter to help him hold it in.
Yeah.
And then the light switches for the bathroom are outside the bathroom. So as soon as he went in there, I turned the light off. And I was like, man, I am just on my pranking, like just peak prank right here. And then unfortunately, that led to him just dropping a nuclear bomb in the toilet and just gassing everyone out. And we were outside for maybe an hour waiting for that just to dissipate.
What were you guys doing? Were you just talking?
Yeah. Just sitting out there like hand on your chin, like, well, this sucks. And it was just brutal. Because he wanted us to go look at it. You know? I'm not going to describe it in detail, but it was one of the worst things I've ever
I
seen.
hate it when people say that. Like, come look at my poop. No, I don't want to
He's
look
like,
at it.
you guys got to see this. I'm like, what?
No, I don't want to look
For
at it.
why? Why do we have to see this? Flush. You
the freaking
sicko.
toilet.
You
Like, that's
sick
so fucking
person.
Disgusting.
It's like one of the, it's just why. It's just something I don't understand. But yeah, circling back, pork chops, no go for me. But yeah, it's like not because I go to.
Never had them prepared well.
I guess not. Like I love ham. Goodness,
Ham's
ham is
delicious.
great.
Ham, yeah.
But like pork chop, I don't like it. I don't like turkey very much because it's also a drier.
Okay,
meat.
can we agree? Turkey is pretty fucking mid, right? Turkey's overrated.
I
It
only
is
like
mid
the
to
skin of
subpar.
turkey. I don't know why. I think it
Yeah.
just tastes a lot better than
Because
chicken
that's where
skin.
all the flavor is. That's where you slather it with butter and put all the herb and seasoning on the skin.
It's like ridiculous because I don't like turkey. I don't like pork chops. It's just, those two meats are very bland to me and dry.
They're old white people meat.
They look like them too.
Oh, yeah.
Hot take.
Not really.
No, pretty base take actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Like when I go to places, I don't like go there because I'm like, oh, I'm a sweet talk whoever's at the counter so I can get some free grub. I'm like, I just want to like talk to this person because I know they probably don't like their job very much, and you get into someone's life a little bit. And
Yeah.
I get a smile, and then they're like, oh yeah, this guy's nice, and then they give me free stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, it pays to be kind to people.
And
Amazing.
note to every listener,
Yeah,
tip your waitress.
tip. I always
Please, we make shit.
do minimum 20%.
Oh, yeah.
And then that, even if like the person's like really rude, I'll do like 18% still. I'll do the lowest like percentile, but I'll still tip them because I'm like, whatever. But then I'm like, ooh, you're kind of mean and I kind of respect that you don't give a shit and you need tips. So I'm like, I'll still give you one.
Because, like, in worst case scenario, some states in America, the service industry, like waiters and waitresses, can make like $5 an hour legally, and then they make up the rest of it with tips.
Or I've learned why tipping became a thing.
Oh, I know why. Tell me.
So essentially, before the Great Depression,
Yes, yeah,
it
you
was
got it.
illegal to tip because it was seen as bribery. You're
Form
like,
of bribe.
yeah. But then during the Great Depression, they couldn't afford to pay their staff. So tipping was like, oh, yeah, please pay my staff for me,
Yeah.
essentially. And then it became just sort of the norm.
It never went away.
It never went away, so then they could get away with still not paying their waiters a lot.
Wage theft.
And then you have to end up making that up by paying. So essentially, they should make the food cost higher,
They should.
pay their staff more, and you shouldn't be obligated to tip
No
unless
tipping.
you want to.
Because it's undemocratic.
But now most of it's like, oh yeah, the gratuity's already put in there, like already in the receipt, and it's like, oh,
So basically, when the gratuity's already put in there, it depends on how big a group you have. So like, I don't know, 5 or more is basically like an automatic gratuity that's already added. And then you get the choice to add more gratuity,
Which is ridiculous.
which is a little ridiculous, but
Just accept no tip and pay your staff reasonable.
yeah, for sure.
But no.
no.
If your business model relies on slavery, maybe you shouldn't be in business.
Oh man, that's how I felt in my old job. It was one of the reasons why I quit. I was like, So I first started as a server assistant, so basically a busser.
Okay.
But then I was also a host and an expo. And so I was literally doing like 3 freaking jobs all at once, and it was terrible.
Instead of paying 3 people, they paid 1.
Yeah, basically. So if I was working one job, I get paid that amount. And if I was working,
You were like on a flexible
Oh,
wage?
you had legitimate 3 positions.
legit 3 positions.
Wow.
Yeah, so if I was working as expo or expediter, which is the person who runs food, gets the sauces on there, I would get paid more.
Tahini.
Yep, the tahini. I would get
It's not
paid.
even on our menu. It keeps.
I would get paid more.
It's just delicious.
I'd get paid more and also tipped more
Well, yeah, because it's like
than the other.
it's
2
like kitchen
positions.
staff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I honestly loved that position because I was just like, I get the least amount of people.
Trini, as someone that's worked in the food industry, do you think anyone can cook? What's your stance on anyone can cook?
Anyone can cook.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can cook. That's for sure. There's some things that people just like. It still amazes me that somebody doesn't know how to make eggs.
What?
Like, there are people who don't know how to make eggs.
There's a joke that a lot of people do that like kind of wears down, I think, where it's like one of those like, oh yeah, like I can't really cook. Like I could cook a mean like grilled cheese sandwich, real mean mac and cheese, and I'm like, okay, okay, buddy.
See, basically,
Like you that was the joke you had. You couldn't even cook up a good joke for me. Ass.
See, like cooking in a restaurant, and not only like, you have to make it taste good, but you also have to make sure you get it out on time. So that's another thing where I'm like, not everybody can cook. It's gonna take some people forever just to get out one dish if they've never cooked in their life before.
Yeah.
Like most of it is already prepped.
Yeah.
All you have to do is
A lot of it is just putting it in the microwave. If
some
you're at
places-
Applebee's.
some
That happened to me
places, yeah.
once
Oh no.
in front of my very eyes. I was in Reno, Nevada, on another field trip for school, and we were in like it smelled like just cigarettes the whole place.
Ugh.
And I was like, all right, where do I eat? Turn to my left, steakhouse. And I was like looking at the menu that's outside. And it's like $60. I was like, all right, what else do we have? And there's like a little deli in there. And I was like, well, all right.
Might as
Walk
well.
in. I was like, I'll just get a panini.
Yeah,
Just a base panini.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, I'm like, where the hell is my sandwich? And then a dude, I look over to the prepping station. There is a pile of maybe 60 receipts covered in sauce. And I'm like, what the hell place is it? And a guy walks out of the back, opens up a drawer.
Oh no.
Grabs meat out of a drawer.
No.
Slaps it on a sandwich and
Oh,
slaps it in the
God.
microwave.
Was it a fridge drawer?
No, it was just like the cabinet drawer.
Jeez.
And then throws it in a microwave. And I was like, dude, I waited 15 minutes for something that he's just microwaving.
Yeah.
And then I ate half the sandwich. Immediate food poisoning.
Well, yeah.
Immediate. And then my
And to be fair,
chaperone
you
was
went
like,
back.
my chaperone was like, hey, how do you, are you having a good time? I was like, no. I literally just paid $10 to get poisoned. And I was like, I didn't even finish.
This one now.
I was like, I couldn't even finish
wow.
eating the sandwich. And I'm like, I didn't even eat half
Enjoy
of
it
it.
because it's not gonna last.
And I'm poisoned. And I'm like, I paid for this too. Like, this is a school trip I paid for, and I'm
Yep.
poisoned. I go, this sucks. I'm like, this is terrible. I'm gonna go sit on the bus. And I like ranted to the teacher. I was like, I'm over it. I'm
over
like,
it.
fully over it. And then I got on the bus and I took like someone's water bottle. I drank the whole thing, and I was like, I ate it here. I was like, this is the lowest point of my life. I literally was like yelling in the bus, full rant. I'm like, this is the lowest point of my life. What are you doing, Nick? I'm in Reno, Nevada. I got food poisoning. I'm like, God. I was like, already a low point. I was like, and I was just ranting, and like the other parents that were like in the bus were like dying laughing.
That is so funny.
Because I'm like a 15-year-old kid just having a meltdown. I'm like so fuming that I'm like having food poisoning. I was just in the bathroom on the bus on the way back to like where we were staying, and then just throwing out. And I was like, great, this is just one of the. And I've never been to Reno since.
That's a good call.
I've blacklisted Reno, Nevada from my life.
As you should.
So, not going there ever again.
Yeah,
Good.
that's a good.
Good.
Yeah.
No, no.
Stay away from Reno.
I think that was the third time I was food poisoning in my life, and it has.
But to be fair,
Been a
you did
consistency
go
ever
back
since.
and try something else on the menu to make sure it was.
That's the one place I've never gone back to. Actually,
Well, that you need to put that on your bucket list
that's like the last thing I do.
before you
I'll be
die.
like 98, and they'll wheel me in. I'll take a bite, and I'll be, and I'll choke.
And then food poisoning, you just choke
I just die.
on the cabinet meat.
Oh God.
It's hilarious.
I really don't like that place. Reno is legit blacklisted from my life.
Yes, that's good.
So yeah.
That's good.
I also low-key have the state of Texas blacklisted.
Really?
I just have a weird bias. I never liked it.
I mean, that's pretty fair. I mean, aside from Austin, I think that's the only redeeming quality of Texas.
And like, yeah, like someone's like, yeah, I'm from Texas. I'm like, dang, that's unfortunate. Because I have to fight my bias against the state.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sure you're a great person. There's nothing really that bad about the state.
Oh man, I love Ted Cruz.
For some reason, I really can't stand
Greg
Texas.
Abbott, man, he's the man.
Can't
I
stand
really
Texas.
like what they're doing with women's rights.
Oh.
Ooh,
Just getting rid of them.
that sent a shiver down my spine hearing that and that voice. Not looking at you for a second and hearing that. I was like, oh God, my spidey senses tingled. Something evil was in the room for a moment. Good. Ugh. Whew. Whew.
Texas freezes over, and Ted Cruz goes to Cabo.
Hey, smart.
I mean,
guy.
someone has to do it. What? Freeze to death in Texas? I think not.
I think no. Actually, I'll pass. El Paso.
I was waiting for that layup.
Oh, it was
Jeez.
right there. It took me a sec, but it was on the radar. Okay, yeah, that was good.
That was a
that was
good one.
really good. I like that.
All right,
So
enough.
not anyone can cook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Texas sucks.
Texas?
sucks.
And Reno sucks.
Yeah, that is Reno's a fact.
Oh, I think.
Reno's a fact. I have evidence.
I mean, do you remember that TV show Reno 911?
Yeah.
Like, case in point, that show existing, demonstrating how much Reno sucks.
yeah, they're very
And
true.
it was a fucking comedy.
Texas. That's it's like a MythBusters thing.
It really is.
I don't think the myth's been busted yet that I don't like. There's nothing that proves
Plausible.
Yeah, it's plausible. Texas is plausible at the moment. For me, it's plausible. Reno, confirmed. Confirmed. Hate it. Terrible.
Yeah.
If you live there, move.
We feel so bad for you.
Just move. Everyone's doing it nowadays.
Yeah.
California, everyone's moving. People are moving to Florida, and then that's gonna sink into the ocean.
That's gonna be fun.
People are going to try and swim.
I really want Pangea to exist again.
That'd be fun.
The one continent
Yeah, if the continents could just drift a little bit faster,
back to its.
back into.
Yeah.
Let's get this ball rolling again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to drive
getcha.
from where I'm at now to,
South America or Africa.
well, I think I can go to South America driving. I think that's actually still
You can
possible.
cross the Panama Canal.
You can't. That's true.
Yeah, it would just be
I
such
don't
a piece
think
of
you
work
should.
time.
But
But like,
then
maybe
try
like,
to traverse the
like,
jungles of Brazil.
Drive to, just driving through like Brazil. I'm like on like a Vespa. Wow!
The harpy
Yeah.
eagle.
Picks up my Vespa, flies away. Go! There's like a 7-Eleven in the middle of like the Amazon.
God.
I bet there is at this point. They've chopped that thing
Yeah,
down.
it's all gone. All gone.
It's just like a couple of capybaras sitting working at the desk at that 7-Eleven.
Some they got some Bolsonaro shirts on.
It's really cute, actually.
It'd be cool. I mean, I'd like that. It's kind of got some Spirited Away vibes, like some
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli, just some weird animal thing.
Oh,
Pro
God.
Bolsonaro
Working at, like,
capybaras.
Those freaking pigs.
Oh.
Terrifying.
Have you ever seen Spirited Away?
No. I know it's Studio Ghibli, but
The I really like the duck things in that movie. There's like these big ducks that just go to like the bathhouse and they're just sitting in there the whole movie. And there's the way they drew them. What a lovable design.
yeah.
There's also this little frog guy in the movie.
I do
Forget his name. He's in the very beginning and he's like, "What are you doing here? Hey, you shouldn't be here." And then
Yeah.
like the character just puts him in a bubble and he just like a mouth open, eyes roll back, and he starts floating in like a circle. And then they just move on. And I'm like, is he stuck like that forever? He comes back later, but I was like, holy, I'm pretty sure he gets eaten. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler.
Spoiler, if you are a fan of the minor character, the frog in Spirited Away, you're not going to like how it ends for him.
Oh, boy.
I think he gets spit back up.
You think so?
I haven't seen it in a while. I saw
It's
it
been
like
a
a
long
year
time
ago.
since I've seen it, actually.
Yeah.
The only part that I will forever remember is the spoiler parents turning into pigs, and that was traumatizing.
I saw that coming, dude. They were horking food down. I was
They
like,
were.
I know where this
I
is.
was like, it was
They were
freaking
working
terrifying.
food, much like pigs.
Yeah. They went to a buffet and they're like, oh, look at all this food. And, they're like,
They're
and they just kept
eating
going. I was like,
it, and then they're turning into pigs.
that's
at
a
the same
one-way
time.
street to Porktown.
Worked out.
Well,
You
'cause
you
there's
think they
other
ordered the
pigs,
chops?
too.
Yeah, and some. Goodness.
Lack of good, because they became pigs.
Can we also just agree that I have not seen one anime that has made food look bad?
I
They're
think it's
really-
impossible.
Yeah, they're.
Every time you see the food, I'm like, I've never seen a meal I've wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
And I can never
Like,
obtain it.
Anime even makes noodles look much more appetizing than
Oh yeah.
It's like they they're like, oh, we only have like a few thousand budget for this episode, and they spend like 2 of those 3,000.
We need to
on
make
just
the
the
cup
food.
of ramen look delectable.
Everything seems 2D, and then you see that, and you're like, what the hell? You're like, I want that. I
That
want
looks
it.
so good.
But alas, it's
Yeah.
a forbidden fruit.
Yeah, a cup of ramen.
But yeah, like you literally look at a cup of ramen and then you're like, I need one of those right now. And then you buy one and you're like, wow, this sucks. Actually,
Yeah.
this is one of the worst things I've eaten.
It's
Have you guys-
propaganda.
Have you
It
guys
is.
had the Shin ramen?
I have not.
That ramen is so freaking good.
Is it good?
It is delicious, you know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's
It comes in like a black and red.
Oh,
I
bag.
mean, yeah. So like they have like the microwavable
is it
ones
like a
where
bowl?
It is a bowl. It can
Oh,
come in a bowl,
yeah, I've eaten that.
but then it also comes in like just packages that you would just boil.
I think my family buys like
It's
a
freaking delicious.
6-pack of the bowls.
They're so good.
It's not bad. It's like the spicy one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Do you guys like spicy food? Moving into
Yeah.
that.
Yes. I don't have a high tolerance for it, but fuck, I do love
Spicy
it.
food is freaking
I
delicious.
think I do it for a gimmick. I don't do it like if I'm ordering food to eat, I never get spicy stuff. But my friends are like, let's try to get like the spicy things. So then I'm all in
Yep.
and I have the worst time.
Yeah.
But it's fun because we're all having a miserable time.
like-
but I don't like eat. I want to sit there and just enjoy my food because I usually get in the zone. I don't breathe. I'm just like eating. I'm having a great
Yeah,
time. But if
yeah.
I'm like, it's all like all of a sudden it's fighting back. I'm like, this sucks. So
The thing with spicy food for me is that I try and like match up to my tolerance because I find that the spicy as flavorful, not necessarily. that it's
it
just
adds a
so.
lot of flavor.
That's the thing, and so I like
also-
spicy in that sense.
Same with Doug. Like it's flavorful. Like
Yeah.
it adds to the like experience. But then I also just love having my nose run because I'm like, it's getting me. Like I'm feeling this.
Well, that's like
spice
the
right now,
endorphins.
and it's top notch.
Your body
Yeah.
has tricked you into
Your-
thinking what you're experiencing.
your
is good.
body's
It-
going
well, it
into
is
flight
good.
or fight response.
Exactly. That's exactly what's
Eating
happening.
Food, and that's not. My body does.
This
that
is such a
enough.
positive experience. I'm gonna die.
I'll go to Valhalla. And you're digging into your wallet.
Valiant battle.
Yep. Not for me.
Yeah, not for Nick.
I love a passive meal.
Yeah.
I don't like my.
Are you sure you don't like turkey?
No, I do like flavor though. You know, it's flavor. I like flavor.
Just not spice.
Spice sometimes takes away from the flavor when you get the heat. I think sometimes.
Yeah, I
like,
think you're going overboard. You need to find your tolerance
Yeah,
and
you
then
need
just
to-
match it.
Build up.
I'm a dive in head first.
And
kinda
that's
guy.
why you're miserable,
Yeah.
brother.
I'm not a dip your toe in the pool. I'm like
And that is how you burn your tongue on
I do that
ghost pepper.
quite a bit. Quite a bit.
And that's why you're miserable.
I mean, yeah, amongst other things.
See, I think you and my best friend Ayla should like meet in the middle. You know, you just dive right in, and she doesn't. I gifted her a bottle of tahini because I was like, "This is."
Is it a little spicy?
So you can go up in spice. I gave her the lowest version because I was like, "You're gonna call me crying if I give you the spicy one, and you're gonna hate me."
It's like the spicy tahini got like a black plastic cap and like a dark red bottle. Like I feel like
Does it have like a chili pepper doing like the
I do.
devil horns?
I do.
So it has like little flames. It has like little flames on the label.
You know what I mean?
There's little flames on the label, and
This pepper's satanic.
that's how you know how spicy it is.
It's just the devil laughing. you pour it, and it's laughing at you.
It's just a thick syrup.
Little
man.
skull and crossbones cloud pops
Yeah,
off of your.
yeah. That's how you know it's
taquito.
real good. Taquito.
Like, would you eat spicy food or do you put spicy stuff on other food as well? You know?
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a
Like-
bottle of sriracha with me everywhere I go.
Is
basically.
sriracha spicy?
Yeah.
Sometimes it just depends.
I've
Like, I
never
have
found it
definitely-
spicy.
Well, how much are you putting on?
Yeah.
Like I put when
Like
I
a
put
drop?
sauce on things, I put sauce on things.
So you're drenching whatever in siracha, and
Not
you
like
don't
drenching. I do like one of those drizzles, so you have
like a
zigzag or something.
5-pass drizzle.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that.
Interesting.
Because I'm also about the presentation. I'm a very visual person as well, so I like
Okay.
the aesthetic of things. So I put one drop that bothers me, so I'm gonna make this look good, like a toaster strudel.
Do you like mix it afterwards, or is you just
mix it? What do you mean?
Like if you had let's say porridge, and you did like a
Sriracha.
5-pass sriracha, do you then
mix it in? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
or like
There's a
let's
thing
say
I
like
do,
a
like-
fried rice, and then pop, 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 5-pass.
And then
Do you then just eat off the top, or then mix it all together?
I usually
Make
mix
it
yeah.
turn that nice red hue from
Yeah,
your
I think I do an
sriracha.
overall mix.
Okay,
That's the way I eat chili
and
too.
you don't find it spicy.
Sriracha, no.
Interesting.
Nick,
Interesting.
you're an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like most people find it spicy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like one of those things that people would be like, if you find this spicy, you don't eat spicy food.
No.
I thought that's what sriracha was.
No.
I think we need
Are
to do
we talking about the Hoi Fong sriracha?
Like, what?
well, the one with the rooster on it?
Yeah.
We need to do a hot
Yeah,
hot
we need-
sauce taste test
Yeah.
with Nick.
Yeah.
Is that the only? I thought that was the only kind. Is there different brands?
I
or
mean,
something?
yeah.
Yeah,
there are
there's like
dungeon.
knockoffs.
I
now.
find soy sauce extremely.
But sriracha, no.
I'm just got the
Have
worst
you
tongue.
had sambal olek before?
I've heard of it. I don't know
Okay.
off the top of my head.
I find sambal olek more spicy than sriracha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not controversial.
Yeah, that's like the only kind, right?
And you will do like a 5-pass squirt of sriracha of that
Like a little zoo zoo zoo. Yeah, a little zigzag.
and not find it spicy.
It's not. No, it's got like a little tiny kick, but then it's not like where I'm like, oh, this is spicy.
Huh.
Okay, we need to set up a taste test.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
But what are we just gonna have you eat?
we do a hot ones.
sauce.
We just
I
do a
mean-
hot ones with me.
We could, or we
with
could.
chicken wings or just straight sauce?
Straight sauce honestly seems better to me.
Or do
Okay.
we go downstairs and get some nuggies?
Oh, we could do that. We could do that. But the
But then-
comedic value of just doing hot
The
sauce, where I'm just like, eh. I'm like, oh,
That's 3 out of 10 peppers. that one is 5.
and then it's just me coughing. The last one, I'm just like dying in the background. You can hear me screaming.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just straight.
Yeah, I think that's the best content value there.
Okay. No milk.
Do you want milk? I feel like it could also serve as a palate cleanser.
Sure, yeah. Because what if I'm feeling the residual spice of the previous one? You
True.
know?
That's fair. That's fair.
So like,
Not that I need it.
Yeah.
I'll be begging for it regardless at some point. I know.
We'll get to sriracha.
I
It's like,
do really enjoy
no spice.
the tackiness of like hot sauce branding.
like what?
Like
Give me a
Mad Dog 367. And then it's just like the bomb. And then there's like Nukem. Yeah. Radioactive death spider. And you're like, what the hell are you like?
Satan's butthole.
Yeah, and it's like the hotter it gets, the worst name they can find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Demon cock.
Diablo taint, and you're like, what the hell? Slam that on my enchilada, why not? I think that's also what's off-putting for me with spicy food.
Death.
It's like, oh yeah, guacamole. That sounds nice, and then it's like Satan's anus, and I'm like, no. What is that? I look at the waiter. No, what is Satan's anus? Is that good? Do you like that?
It's a habanero base with ghost peppers.
I got a. I will say
it's
the
more
one time I
vinegary.
didn't like sriracha was I went to one of those donut places that does like the wacky donuts, right? Sort of a voodoo donut
Artisanal,
style.
yeah.
Yeah, when they're like, we're getting kind of weird with our donuts over here.
Voodoo.
And then It was like a mango sriracha donut.
That sounds good.
It sounds
in
really
theory.
It sounded really good. So I was like, yeah, that sounds
Was
great.
it like the icing was the mango, or was it like a filling?
Icing was mango, but there was also sriracha icing. Again, zigzagged around it. And it was like I got like this really tangy, and then the dough, and then the sriracha was just a weird hard switch.
Yeah.
And it didn't work because of the icing, the sugariness of the icing. It just didn't match
Yeah.
the texture and everything.
Sounds like a poor execution.
Yeah, great idea.
Loved the concept.
What if the sriracha was baked into the dough?
Oh. Got like a reddish sort of donut.
Yeah.
See, now that you're thinking.
Yeah. But I wonder if that even cooks well.
I mean, when you have to cook
I wonder
soda
if
and
it-
cake, you have to add.
I tried to make a
certain things.
dragon fruit pancake.
Yeah, I'm
once,
just
and that
wondering,
did
like,
not work.
culinarily speaking, does the like sriracha cook out of the dough? Like, does it then no longer become spicy?
Oh, like
mean,
a rum cake.
Yeah.
kind
I
of deal.
don't know.
I mean, technically there is like vinegar in it and stuff. I mean,
Like the chili powder
yeah,
would stay, right?
yeah, I feel
Okay,
think it'd be
we should
okay.
do this.
we're gonna make donuts and
Yeah,
cook sriracha
donuts.
in it.
Yeah,
I like
Not
a
a
good
bad
little
idea.
like bake-off kind of show.
yeah.
You have two people. Two of us will be baking, and the two of us will be kind of like the judges sitting there.
I love it.
One person will be sitting at the table, and another one will walk around and be like, oh, yeah. Or we could do that. Oh, one person goes to one person. One person goes to the other person. We come back. We talk about it while they're cooking.
Yeah,
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
that does sound
We're
like.
getting some good ideas here.
Yeah, we are. Write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Johnson! Johnson, write that down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our PA, Johnson, is
Sriracha?
writing furiously over in the corner.
What date, sir?
Date, Johnson? Just write it down!
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Pay attention, Johnson.
What? Okay, I'm paying much attention, sir.
Bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
What? J. Jonah Jameson?
Get out of here.
Okay.
What a guy, dude. Best character from Spider-Man, honestly.
Literally.
There's some characters that are side characters and secondary characters and things that surpass the main character, even if the main character's strong.
Yeah.
Like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies are very strong. Third one was really stretching.
The funny dancing.
Yeah, really stretching it. Great meme material from the third one.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. That's my favorite quote. It's pizza time, and then there's a scene where he's like got the black suit, the symbiote suit, and the other guy, Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, let me get a picture of you, man!" And he whips. He goes, pulls the camera, and he smashes it. And he's like, "Hey, what was that?" And he goes, "See ya, chump!" And he jumps into the sewer. But I'm like, why did he say that? He's supposed to be like the mean Spider-Man. He
Yeah.
goes, in like Tobey Maguire's light voice, "See ya, chump!" And he just jumps right in.
Yeah. They're great.
Like first movie, Bonesaw, amazing character. Randy Savage,
You got 3 minutes with me.
Bonesaw's ready.
Yeah, it's about to get real.
And then J. Jonah Jameson, it's like, wow. No one.
Damn, that's
It's
Spider.
one of those things where it's like the person was like just built for that role. No one could do it better.
Yeah, literally.
And I feel like Marvel movies do that very well, where they get some people where it's like no one can be better.
No one can be better.
Like, Chris Evans, built for Captain America.
Okay, yeah.
So true. I mean, he's been with the role since
Like he did Human
2010.
Torch. I don't think he
Yeah.
was terrible at Human
No.
Torch. Like though the first
I forgot he was
Fantastic
the
Four
Human Torch.
movie was good.
Yeah.
I think the first Fantastic Four was a good movie.
Yeah.
The second one was kind of Spider-Man 3, where it was just like, how many weird, like, can we just go all out for this? And they did too much.
I will be right back.
Okay.
All right, Dougie is sprinting out of here. I think this is the second episode in a row where one of us has booked it mid-cast. But who else? Like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. The first Iron Man movie was like 2008.
8, I think.
Yeah.
So long ago.
It was really
and they
long
wanted
time
like Tom Cruise or someone else.
Mm.
And then they were like, let's try Robert Downey Jr.
I mean, he does a great job, if I'm being honest.
It's amazing. And
He
then when you
sells
see
Tony
him like
Stark.
outside of it now, it's like he's pretty much just playing himself,
Yeah, he was like,
which I think in certain roles is really good. I kind of respect. There's like actors that I think do that very well, where they just kind of play themselves in different movies. And then there's actors that do that, and for some reason it ticks me off. Like I think Jason Momoa is a good actor, but in most things he just plays that like kind of surfer dude vibe.
I mean, what about in Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones is like the one role where I haven't seen him be kind of a dude bro.
Okay, that's
I was like, oh, this guy's really cool. And like Aquaman, I think triggers me because he's like the king of Atlantis. And he's going like, wahoo, yeah. And he's like, all right, my man. And I'm like, who? You're leading Atlantis, like you're the king of Atlantis? And he's like, yeah, my man. And he's doing all these server things. He's like just drinking like a bum. I'm like, I feel like you're playing not the character. I don't think that's Aquaman.
Did you watch Slumberland? Because I haven't seen it actually.
Oh, I don't think so.
I saw like a little snippet.
That's the one where he's like a goat man, right?
Yeah. I saw a little snippet of it, and I felt like he did a pretty good job. He kind of reminds me of an Inside Out. What was that, like, pink elephant, cotton candy guy? He kind of reminds me of him, basically.
What is that character? I wanted to say Snuffleupagus, but I think that's
from Winnie the Pooh, I think.
Winnie the Pooh or Sesame Muppet, something like that.
Yeah. What the frick was his name? Because then he sings was it Bing Bong?
Bing Bong, yeah.
Bing Bong, Bing Bong.
Yeah, it's Bing Bong.
It's Bing Bong. Yeah.
R.I.P. Spoiler alert.
If you haven't
If you haven't seen Inside Out, you are not going to like what happens to Bing Bong.
But he kind of reminded me like of the little clip that I had seen of Bing Bong. And I was like, they're actually kind of dressed the same too.
You know, I think you're right. They have like a little hat and they got the like
little
weird
blazer
carnival
coat
clothes.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what
I
is
forgot
happening?
that movie came out. Some Slumberland?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It was like a
right.
it was like a remake of Slumberland. Like there's an original Slumberland, but I've never seen it. I didn't
like
even
an
know it was
older
a
movie? It's like an 80s movie or something?
Probably, I don't know.
I feel like that gives me the same vibes as like they redid like that movie The Labyrinth with like David Bowie.
They did?
No, I'm saying if they did that, I feel weird about it. I'd be
Okay, I was like,
"Ah."
why? Sounds terrible.
That movie's a trip. Saw it for the first time last year.
I grew up watching that movie.
See, that's the person who showed it to me. I was dating at the time, and they were like, "This is like my childhood movie," because we'd watch movies back and forth. And, wow, what a trip! And I was like, "Well, you watched this as a kid?" Because I feel like Kid Nick would have been freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, I watched The Labyrinth as a kid. I watched The Dark Crystal as a kid. I watched Pan's Labyrinth as a kid. Like, there's a lot of movies.
You watched a lot of those puppet movies.
Yeah. Except for Trolls. I hated Trolls. I hated those.
Oh god,
old.
I think I've seen Trolls. Yeah.
Like the new Trolls are cute, but the old Trolls, terrifying.
Have you? What movie did you just say? Oh, The Dark Crystal. Isn't there a new Netflix one?
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, I started watching it, but I stopped because I was like, I'm not really feeling it. You know. And I think it's like a prequel.
Oh.
To The Dark Crystal, you know, like I loved The Dark Crystal. Despite it scaring me as a kid, I could not stop.
I think I tried to watch
it
it like when it came out, the Netflix one, and I was watching it, and some reason it was just like the uncanny valley thing to me.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is making me like wildly uncomfortable for some reason because I've watched those like movies in the past. So I have like the puppets and stuff, and I don't mind them. And I'm like, oh, that's good effects. And for whatever reason, The Dark Crystal, I was like, ugh. I was like, this is really freaking me out for some reason. I couldn't get past the first episode.
Jim Henson? I think that's his name. He's the one who, he was the big puppet guy. That's why, like, a lot of, like, in Labyrinth, he was also the puppet guy.
Really? I thought that was the guy who did the Muppets, too.
Yeah, he's like a big puppet guy, but like a popular puppet
He was
guy.
He was the puppet. He was the puppet master.
Puppet master, and I loved The Dark Crystal. Watched it repeatedly. It still scared me. I just couldn't stop watching it, you know?
I feel
was like, it's great, but I'm terrified.
I have a bad habit. I like horror movies. I like all movies. But horror movies, I tend to usually watch alone. Like during quarantine, I was in an apartment completely by myself. And I was like, I want to get through a lot of classic horror movies.
Yeah.
So I was just watching them on repeat for like weeks. And I don't think I've ever been more paranoid in my life.
That's so funny.
Because it was like the room I was staying in had no furniture at the time because I had moved it out.
Okay.
So I was essentially put myself in some sort of like asylum cell. And I was just watching horror movies.
Padded room.
And I was like, since it was quarantine, I didn't leave my apartment ever, except for like maybe every 2 weeks to get groceries. And so I'd just stare at my window during the daytime, and I'm like looking at like people like in their backyards, and I'm like, oh, wow, like they have friends. And then I'd like slink back into my room and then start watching like horror movies. And then I'd hear noises and I'm like, who's that? Who's that? And I come running around the apartment like a weirdo.
I did the same thing during quarantine. I was just watching a crap ton of horror movies because, like...
What kind? What horror movies?
So I watched all of the Conjuring movies.
Those are good.
They're good, but, like, I wanted to be scared.
I think the first two are scary.
They were. So,
and then
like,
as they go on, they get less scary.
for the longest time, I was terrified of horror movies.
No.
Like, when The Haunting of Hill House came out,
Ooh.
my mom had told me that there was ghosts in the thing. So I was like, while she was kind of watching it, I was kind of like hiding under the pillow, but then I was also trying to look for the ghosts. So then I scared myself. Like in
the anticipation.
Yeah. So like I scared myself doing that. And I was like, oh God, I have to stop. And I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. And during the time when that had come out, we lived in a different house than what we live in now. It kind of had the same stairs that you have.
Oh, okay.
And so there was a light switch downstairs and there was a light switch upstairs. And then like as I'm going up the stairs, my aunt who was there at the time had like turned off the lights. I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, I was in high school like during this time. Yeah. So I was like, it's a little embarrassing for me to be this scared. But I like it's still like you heard it. It was a loud thud of me just throwing myself up against the wall because I was terrified. I was like, you
didn't run for it. You froze in place.
I froze in place at that time. And then dangerous.
I was like, risky move.
I know.
Risky move.
I was like, Mom. I was yelling for my mother because she was upstairs at the time, and I was like, I can't go up the stairs right now.
I've been there, to be honest. There was a time where, so like the way my room is set up, there's like two bedrooms and then there's a bathroom in between them, but it's like a corner thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas like the landing. And then two doors, and then on the same pillar, there's two doors to the bathroom. And so if the doors are all open in different ways, opening one will like change the air pressure or whatever, and like kind of close another one. And so when I first started noticing it, I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Like,
and I was like, and then I'd like run the little like column. I'm like, "Where are you?" And I'm like trying to find it, and I was like,
It's me.
And then I'd go hide into the room, and I'm like, okay. And I'd freak out, and then I'd like keep like testing. I'd like walk out of my room, and I'd close the door, and then hear another door close. I'm like, what is going on? I was like, our house is haunted. I was like, it's over. It's haunting my room specifically. I'm like, this is awful. I don't know what to do. And then I started doing some myth busting, and I was like, all right. And I like closed the door, and another door closed. I'm like, this is happening at the same time. And I'm like, something is up here. Either this ghost is like
fucking with
really pranking my ass hard. Or this has got a scientific explanation. Turns out it was the wind from the doors.
Man.
So not haunted, at least in that area of the house.
Yeah, like that's one of the reasons why I watch like so much gory movies because I'm like, I know that's real. Like a person could literally tear a person apart like that.
Yeah.
But ghosts, that's what really terrified me. I was like, I don't know if they're real or not.
Yeah, that's the hard part with it too. Is like you just don't know.
Yeah, and my Nana definitely believes in ghosts, so she would just constantly like falling down the stairs. She told me the ghost in the house is a little boy and he hates you, and I was like, "That's why." She's like, "That's why you falling down the stairs." Yeah, and I was
I think just knowing there's a ghost boy would have been enough for me.
And the fact that
you add that he, I know he hates you.
She told me, she's like, "No, yeah, he told me he hated you," and I was like,
why are you cool with the ghost?
I was like, I'm 7.
Tell him I'm like, talk to him and tell him I'm okay.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Didn't put a good word in for me. He's like, I hate her.
Me
like,
falling down the stairs has been a chronic thing, okay? So,
you did, yeah.
So I was like,
that's impressive. I think there's an 80% ratio of me falling upstairs.
I mean, I do both.
Up to down ratio, it's mostly up. And that's pretty frequently, I'd say.
Yeah, so what? Like, usually when I fall down the stairs, I've never actually had, like, a bad injury besides the most recent
one where you've had a bad injury.
Where I had a bad injury and I broke my pinky toe on my foot.
As bad injuries go, that's, like, pretty chill.
But then, there was one time in high school where I tripped up the stairs. I, like, skinned my knee pretty bad, actually. I have scars because of it.
Oh.
And then I got to go home early that day, so I was like, yes, but I had to walk home, so I was like, oh. was like, this hurts.
There it is.
And then not even like 3 days later, I tripped on the same stairs and opened the wound again.
Oh.
So then I had to go home early again because I bled more that time than I did the
They just
first
sent
time.
you home because you were bleeding?
Well, I have a blood disorder.
Oh.
So technically when when something like that happens, I should go see my blood doctor. But because it isn't as bad as it was when I was younger, I just really have to go see my blood doctor once a year, basically. Like, how are things going? Have you bled out today?
How we
yet?
looking?
No, haven't yet. So that was another reason why I had to go home,
Gotcha.
because technically
Okay.
I'd be like, okay, now I have to go see my blood doctor, and then I just not go.
Interesting.
And then it was during this summer, I fell down in my old house still because we had concrete stairs going out to the back. I fell down those stairs and skinned it was the same knee that I had.
That shed
that I
a little
told you
shiver
just about.
down the old skin.
So
right
I
there.
have new scar on top of my old scar.
New
because of
scar
that.
just dropped. Here we
And
are.
then it went down my whole shin to my big toe. Like, that's how bad me falling down the stairs have been.
You scraped across the stairs. You didn't just like tumble and roll.
No,
you
scraped. So what
that
was
is
it?
impressive.
So not only did
That
I
is
scrape my
unreal
whole, half
damage.
of my leg, I also twisted and sprained
You're
my
like,
other
"Oh my
foot. So
God."
so this is
Hey
basically-
doc, I got a doozy for you this week.
So basically, I'm going out to go get my dogs from outside. I just fell down the stairs.
Again with the stairs.
This is a
different.
year ago. This is
is a year
brutal
ago,
though.
basically.
This sounds way worse than the one
It
that
hurt
just happened.
so bad. My leg just went underneath me, and I just slid down the stairs, twisted my other foot, and so basically, I couldn't choose which foot to hop on to go grab my fence that was just 5 steps away.
Yeah, both feet were toast.
So I was hopping on my sprained ankle, and I was just holding on to the
This
fence.
sounds like a horror movie.
It was terrible. I was screaming for my mom, who's upstairs, and I'm pretty sure she's in the shower.
That's always how it works.
So I'm literally screaming. My neighbor comes out. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No,
and this is outside.
This is outside."
Cement stairs.
I was like, my neighbor's like, "Do you need help inside?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." But my mom had come out at that time too, so my mom was like, "Oh my
He's
God."
like, do you need help? You're like, get out of here.
It was kind of like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" They help me into the house. I'm hopping on. Wow, I think it was my twisted ankle at the same time because it just hurt to put my leg down. I
The
was
other one?
It stings so bad. I was bleeding profusely. I have a huge scar on my leg
My
now because
God.
of it.
See, I have a
Wow.
scar on my knee that's a little indent because when I was young, I, what's that one folk tale where it's the guy tried to beat the train, digging a hole in the mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that? I want to say Paul Bunyan, but that's
No.
not.
It's
Paul
close.
Bunyan.
It's Paul Bunyan adjacent.
Yeah. It's the mining.
Yeah,
Paul
it's
Bunyan.
the mining Paul Bunyan. Rock. Paul
Rock Bunyan.
Rock Bunyan. I was like, I'm gonna beat these escalators, and I was like, I'm gonna be able to get up these down escalators faster than it can push me down. Get to the top step, and boy, does hubris really show his face.
Icarus. He flew
I
too
flew
close to
away.
the sun.
I almost had it. It was right in my grasp, and I tripped up the stairs in classic Nick fashion.
Oh.
And the little spike things on the end of the escalator steps went just straight into my knee, and just pretty much just poked a hole in my knee because it was a young developing.
I'm
Nick.
getting phantom pains just thinking about
And
this.
and I was going to a movie.
Yeah.
I think it was the first Narnia. And I was like, oh. And so I was like, can I get a Band-Aid? And I just sat through the movie,
Bleeding.
legit through my jeans. There was like a quarter-sized blood spot in my jeans. I bled through the full Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And then a week later, it was just itchy. My knee hurt. So I just peeled the scab. And then I saw that it was a
You
good
got gangrene.
it was a quarter-inch hole in my knee that was I could see the bone, and I was like, and so I just put a Band-Aid back over it. I was like, we'll just.
This is tomorrow's problem.
I was like, oh,
This is future.
Not healed
Nick.
yet, so I just put a Band-Aid on it, and now I have this like indent spot in my knee.
You
Oh,
saw
man.
the bone.
I did. It was like just this white, like, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And because we went in like a good.
Did you touch it?
I wanted to, but I was like, since it was such like a deeper hole than I was thinking it was gonna be,
Was it like one full knuckle?
it was legit. I would like, I kid you not, it was like a good like maybe like a quarter to like a half inch.
Wow.
And I was like, what the hell? I was like, did I go into my bone? And I was like, I just got to cover this up. I was like, I can't think about this right now. I'm in the second grade. I got a lot going on. I cannot deal with this. And
You
then
got that spelling bee next week.
yeah. And I'm dyslexic, so that was gonna be hard. That spelling bee is gonna be a rough one. So yeah, no, I just have this like circle in my knee that's like a weird little like divot. And yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. So like, if you'll feel my other leg on the shin, like the bone isn't as bumpy as my other shin is right now.
You smoothed it out.
No,
Oh, that's the one. The bumpy one's the bad one.
the bumpy one's the bad one.
But the thing is about bones is the more you
Tell
break
me.
them, they heal stronger than before.
But I didn't
That's
break
what
it.
they say.
I didn't break my bone.
Like that's why like
Sometimes
Muay
you want-
Thai boxers legit microfracture their shins to kick because then their shin bones becomes like a steel beam and
That's
then they
true,
kick you in the head and your head explodes. That part maybe not so much, but I've just imagined
But
it if
you know, Nick, some bones need to have some like flexibility.
no, yeah.
So
I'm gonna replace my whole bones. I'm gonna get a full body transplant,
full body transplant.
stainless steel in there.
Oh,
Oh,
so
like
you're
the
gonna
Wolverine?
be the
The new Wolverine.
Yeah, I'll be steel Wolverine, not as strong as normal Wolverine.
handicapped Wolverine.
Yeah, it's actually detrimental to my health instead of benefiting. me.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't benefit him that much either.
That's
It poisons him.
it poisoned him.
Yeah. Mine just makes me like function worse.
Yeah, you're
Overall.
more heavy.
Yeah.
It poisons you.
And it makes my motor functions worse.
Yeah. Actually, no. You should replace all your bone with lead.
That would be. Did you ever learn about that Chinese emperor that wanted to live forever? I think it was like either the first great emperor of China, and he was like, I need to become immortal. I don't want to die.
And so they use like
They gave him lead pills.
yeah.
Because it was like liquid metal, and like, that's the stuff of the gods. And then his tomb,
his
supposedly,
alchemist with the philosopher's stone. Oh, we need lead will become the elixir of life.
yeah, and so he was popping
Lead.
lead pills like a madman, and then surprise, his liver just died because
His brain became Swiss cheese.
yeah, and his
Lovely.
body shut down because of
Lead poisoning,
the amount of lead that was being put into his body.
which is the moral of the story is lead is not good for your health.
Make sure your alchemist is got a license.
Make sure
a
alchemist is
licensed alchemist,
certified
yeah.
and licensed.
Because there's some shysters out
Can't
there.
be trusting these alchemists who get their degree
They have
from
ulterior
the
motives.
Caribbean.
Yeah, they just are in it for the money.
Yeah.
Good grief. I had an alchemist once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I tried to sell me mercury pills. Oh, I was like, hey, buddy.
Mercury
I was like, hey, buddy.
pills.
Pills, yeah.
Mercury
Little
pills.
capsules with mercury in them.
Oh, he was trying to kill you.
Well, that's not what he said. As hey, buddy, I've been around the block.
What did
Mer-
he say?
I know a little emperor.
Yeah, but the emperor didn't die from mercury.
It was mercury adjacent.
Mercury adjacent.
You know, liquid metal, you gotta be careful with that. Actually, no, I think. Oh, no, it was his tomb that had like mercury in it.
Oh.
Because they built like a model of his kingdom.
Yeah.
And they filled it with like liquid mercury to make the rivers and stuff. That's cool. Because it was like, that's the river to the gods. Something like that. I don't remember. I watched it on the History Channel when
Before
I
it
was like 14.
became aliens.
Yeah. Before history became aliens.
Yeah.
If you look to the past, you have to look to the future.
No, if you look to the past, you have to look to the skies.
The stars.
Aliens.
But as we learned from Pacific Rim, the aliens came from the ocean.
They came from below.
They need to see that's a series they should reboot.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Hell yeah.
First one,
Solid.
amazing. Second one, I think
Not
we're
solid.
the only ones in the theater, and we went to this big open spot where like it's like the wheelchair accessibility aisle where it's like
Yeah.
really wide, and we played hacky sack
Oh my god.
to the next half of the movie. Two of us were doing hand puppets over the movie
Oh.
because literally we were the only ones in the theater, and we're like, man, we wasted like $15 because this movie is horrible.
Yeah.
Writing was bad, action was bad, everything about it was bad.
Yeah.
It was
And-
a cash grab
Yep,
and a bad one at that.
and we were so stoked for it too.
yeah.
So we're like, all right, I guess we'll just play hacky sack while we're in here.
Yeah.
So that's my review on
reboot
Pacific Rim.
that franchise.
Give that a little boot.
the
'cause-
one where half the films are garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because me and Trini were talking about earlier while you were away about like, I was like, I always feel weird when they do sort of a reboot of like a really old franchise.
Yeah.
Like Scream.
Like
Yeah,
that
like Scream-
70s show.
Apparently Scream is really good, the newest one, the 5th one and the 6th one coming out.
Yeah.
But like movies like Halloween, the new ones, I hate them. I hate them so much.
I haven't even seen it. I decided.
Do not.
To be
I-
fair, Rob Zombie's Halloween, really good.
Was that the one in like 2012, 16 or something?
Like that. No, not 16. I think it was like 2000. Yeah, 2010.
I think I saw that
2012.
one. That one's not bad.
Did
That
you
one's
guys
good.
see the Texas Chainsaw
The
Massacre?
Netflix one?
Yeah, the Netflix
I have
one.
not.
Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix
No.
did it. It was bad.
Of course it was.
I watched it. I was like, I didn't even really like the first one, if I'm being honest. Which is
There was
might
like
be a
an
little-
early 2000s
That one was,
Nightmare on Elm Street,
Oh.
and I kind of liked it better than the original.
Really?
Because the original,
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
the original one for me, in terms of practical effects, is phenomenal.
Isn't that a John Carpenter?
I think so.
Yeah.
And
The
but
first
it wasn't
Nightmare
scary
on
to
Elm-
me.
It's
at
so
all.
campy.
It was
It is
bad.
so campy.
It didn't grab me at all. Like there was like
Tough
the
call.
original 2 Halloween movies. I think the first time I saw them, I was like middle school.
Sure.
Genuinely put me on edge, and I was kind of freaking out. I was like, oh, and I was getting freaked out. And I was like, this is good. Like the fact that this is an 80s movie and it still has that effect on me.
79, I think.
70, 78, 79, I think.
like that,
for
yeah.
both of them. But I was like, that's amazing. Friday the 13th did not scare me. I watched like the first 3, but they had those like jump scares at the end. And they got me every time with them. The whole time I'm like, okay, I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, it's not that bad. And then it's like after everything's over, they throw in like a dream sequence, like jump scare. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like that was good. I was like, they got me with that. And I watched the second one. Different ending. And then they do it again. And I was like, and it got me really bad. And I was like, they did it twice to me.
Wes Craven, that's who did
Oh,
Elm
that's right.
Street.
And then the third one, I was ready. I was like, okay, they did this stupid trick to me twice now. I'm ready. They finished it. They beat them. There's gonna be a weird jump scare, and the girl's like in a bow, and she's like laying down. I'm like, oh, they're doing it like the first one.
yeah.
And then she bumps into a log and jumps, and then I'm like, oh, they knew I knew.
Yeah.
And then like a duck flies off, and I'm like, oh, they're really honing in. And I was like, okay, it's coming up. It's got to be, because it kept going on. They did 3 fake jump scares that involve like the water and stuff. And then all of a sudden she like looks up at the glance at the building, and he's like in there. Jason's like in the roof, and I'm like, there it is. That's a jump scare. And he starts running towards it, and I was like, ooh, that's a little weird. I'm like, they didn't get me. That was also a red herring.
Jason?
Yeah, that part, red herring. And then the zombie mom
Friday
from the
the
first
13th.
movie jumps out and grabs her from the water. And that got me so bad because I got so desensitized through their fake outs. Then I was like, they're genius. I was like, this is the most genius thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
Oh man.
They played chess with me, and I was ready for checkers.
So we're talking Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was the third one.
Gotcha.
Because the first 3 are all like I think the first 2 are a continuous story. And then the third one's like a whole new area.
Yeah. If I recall, the first Friday the 13th is it's the mother. It's not Jason Voorhees, who's the
At
serial
all.
killer.
Yeah, it's the mom.
Oh, I didn't know.
Plot twist.
Spoiler
It
alert.
wasn't Jason.
If you're looking for Jason in the first Friday the 13th,
He doesn't exist.
you won't find him unless you see the jump scare at the end.
And then the next 2 are actual Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
And the second one, it isn't even proper Jason. He's wearing like a burlap sack as a mask.
Yeah, he's got a burlap
and
sack.
I think he mostly uses a pitchfork, which is weird.
he does
I
use
think,
a pitchfork
yeah.
multiple times in the movie.
Yeah. And then it was the third film where they have fully established Jason Voorhees, hockey
with
mask,
the-
Yeah.
Okay.
coveralls, machete. That's the third one, and I think Kevin Bacon is in the third one too.
He's
Kevin
in
Bacon.
the
Yeah.
second. He's in the second or third one.
Yeah.
Man,
It's a
now I
very
gotta
young
watch
Kevin
these.
Bacon.
Super young Kevin Bacon. Okay, so when I was a teenager, I went through a binge in one summer and watched all the horror films. I watched all Friday the 13th.
See,
I watched
that's what I was-
all
That's what we were talking
Nightmare on
about.
Elm Street. I watched all Halloween. So like it's an encyclopedia up in here.
Yeah, I was telling
Oh
Trinity
my
that's
God,
what I
there's a
did.
shit ton of movies. That's how I felt about when I what
Yeah.
was it?
I was telling
Hellraiser?
her. Oh,
Yeah.
I did not realize how many movies were in there. I also
Oh, like how
hated
many?
the first movie. I was like, this is fucking terrible. I was like, they could have been so much better.
That's why I
but
kind
this
of
is what I
felt
get.
on the first like Nightmare on Elm Street was like I was expecting because people were like this one's really scary because it's like the first time the murderer guy talks to you and I was like okay and I was watching it because I was telling Trinity during quarantine I was by myself in my apartment. I had
During the pandemic.
I had
Yep.
no furniture. I had a bed and a desk and a chair. For some reason, I had like one sheet. I was like, I gave myself the bare minimum for some weird gimmick. Like I was just doing. I get a weird vibe where I'm like, I'm just gonna go through like a method acting phase, but I don't have like I'm not casting anything. So it was just me in that room. Never would leave. I had like a full pajama set, like and I was like, I'm literally in an asylum. Like I made myself just go in an asylum, and I never left. And then I like look out my window and like watch people like in their backyard, like having a party, and I'm like, man, I don't have friends. And then I go like back in my room, and I was just watching all like classic horror movies that I never watched. So then I was getting really paranoid because I wasn't leaving my room, and I was like, every time I heard something, I was like, what is that? And I like watched like
Hello?
I rewatched
Someone
like
there?
Halloween. I rewatched like or I've watched for the first time Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I still have. Oh, I need to see Chucky. I still haven't seen that.
I've
Child's
only-
Play.
I saw one
haven't
clip
seen any of it.
of it where he's like crawling. And, like,
I gotta be
on the fire escape.
so Child's Play, the first Chucky film, actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually
I
good.
saw one clip for it where he's like running up a fire escape, and it made me go, "Oh!" I was like, I did not like that.
Yeah.
It's because it's completely uncanny. It's
Yeah.
a doll that is okay. So the plot is some serial killer does some voodoo shaman bullshit and puts his soul into like a doll.
Okay, that's nice. I like it.
It's good because it was like the day of his execution.
Oh, okay.
So Charles something, he's executed. He's dead. His soul is in a Chucky doll. You're gonna want to watch it, so I'm not gonna spoil the
Yeah,
rest
I
of the
wanna
film,
watch it
but
too.
it's good. The whole thing, the thing that did it for me was the what do I mean to say? It's not revealed that Chucky is possessed with a soul until like almost near the end of the film.
Oh, really?
Oh,
really.
wow.
Because I knew that was like the whole thing was that it was like a guy.
I gotta
soul.
say, the scariest scene for me, I was probably a child then, but like the big reveal. The mother like grabs the doll and the box that comes in and says, battery's not included. Opens the battery case because this entire time the doll has been doing its like pre-recorded messages the entire film. Opens the battery, no batteries.
Oh, damn.
That's good.
That was a great
That's
reveal.
really
And then
cool.
then the cat's out of the bag and he starts killing.
I remember when I
he'd been
watched.
secretly killing the entire.
I think it was like the
movie.
7th grade for me. We watched Jaws for the first time, like I did with my dad. And I'm never afraid of sharks. Still not.
Yeah.
I am got a fear of like the ocean, and
It's unknown.
it's just too deep. Yeah. It's
mean-
not that it's unknown. Well, I guess part of it is the unknown for me, but it's more of the fact that I have zero control. Like I am in the middle. I can only see like 5 feet in front of me, 10 feet.
Yeah.
And then things just disappear into the water. And then I'm not like, Michael Phelps, so I'm not able to outswim a shark or any fish really. And so
To be fair, Michael Phelps couldn't outswim a shark.
no, but he had a better chance than I did.
That's true.
And then I also
Remember, punch for the nose.
I have a conspiracy. I don't
like, push
float.
them away
I
from
don't
you.
think me as a person floats. I've tried.
Are you really?
You're pretty muscular.
I
so
sink.
You're more dense than the water itself.
And I feel like every time I've tried to float, I just go straight to the bottom. I'm like, God, this sucks.
Gotta make
I,
sure your lungs are full of air.
I exhale immediately into the water.
Oh man.
No,
Cannonball.
As a former swimmer, you just telling me that was oh god, terrible.
because like anytime I'm in like a lake or something with friends, and we're like, oh, let's go swim to this side.
God.
Let's go swim to this side. I swim as fast as I can because as soon as we start swimming, I panic. and I'm like, I need to get to the other side.
So
I can
you're
touch
not
the
a
bottom.
confident swimmer.
I know how to swim.
Yeah, I didn't ask that.
Confident swimmer, not confident floater.
Oh, okay.
I'm not confident in my buoyancy,
All right.
but I will be a torpedo.
But okay, can you tread water?
Yeah, can you
What do you
tread
mean?
water? Okay,
Like
so
if you're not moving, if you're in place in a body of water, can you
tread water.
like
Stay afloat,
paddle,
basically.
but
so basically
directly
what
up?
you're doing is like you're moving your arms kind of in a circular motion because like it's like a paddle, but then you're also kind of kicking your legs a little bit.
No, I have to like push off the bottom constantly.
Oh.
You
Me
need
just
to
doing
learn
this,
how to tread
I
water.
can't.
Yeah.
Because that's literally like when you tread water, you're just
You're staying in one spot.
No,
with
yeah,
your
I've
head
seen
above the
people do
water.
it. I try to do the motions, and
Or
I
like
sink.
just kicking like
do little kicks, and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh.
But then your head just slowly.
And then I slowly go down, and then I panic. So
okay.
then I'm
Then
like, oh.
you're not going fast enough. You know, you have to.
You
You can't
listen,
go too
Nick,
fast because then
You're skipping leg day. That's the problem.
I famously go to the gym for legs twice a week.
Well, then swim soon, because
Look,
I beg to
we'll lab
differ.
it. We'll lab it. We'll pull up a science
Swim
kit. We'll do a
lesson for
podcast
Nick.
at the pool. It'll just be you guys tell me to do different things
all right, practice your backstroke now.
until I'm just fully buoyant.
Oh,
Until I've evolved correctly.
Okay, you see this 10-pound dumbbell? All right, swim it across the bottom of the floor.
But I think one of the best reveals in Jaws was when the shark swims under the boat and you see this thing's like 30 feet long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the? I was like, what the hell? Like, my dad, I was like, yo, whoa, hey, leave the ocean.
Leave the ocean.
That's my biggest pet peeve, I think. One of my biggest pet peeves.
They
is when you
needed
see
a bigger boat.
When you see an article and it's like, uh-oh, it's Australia and the sharks are infesting the waters. It's like, the sharks are infesting. I'm like,
man.
that's their home.
Yeah,
You are infesting the waters
you're infesting the
Yeah.
beach.
as a terrestrial creature.
yeah,
You are going under the beach
a landlubber.
and then going into the water where you don't.
You're going into their domain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
And-
you're infesting my space.
Typical Karens, man, going where they don't belong and complaining that the
man.
native inhabitants are ruin it for the rest of them.
And I'm like, that's literally where they live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're infesting the ocean.
Fucking stay
You
out of the
mean their
beaches.
home?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Give me a break.
What was it? So at my high school, we had like
Okay.
this.
Oh, Jesus, Nick.
We had like this.
I don't know why. I had to move for some reason.
You're just making so much noise over there. Clunk, clunk.
I got distracted and I was like, I need to move.
I'm sorry, Trinity. What were you saying?
At my high school, we had this summit thing where the students would present projects, kind of. My friend and I were going to do one, but COVID had happened
Yep.
at that time,
That'll
so we didn't actually get to present it.
Oh.
But our thing was, would you die in a movie? And it was basically, would you? A lot of minorities die really quickly in movies.
I was going to bring
like
this up.
right
today,
away.
too.
'Cause
That is-
that's what
that
it
is a
reminded me because we
horror
had Jaws on there as one of the. We watched 30 movies to compile this list.
That's
Iron
research.
Man was on there. We had what was another one? Jurassic Park. Like a lot of classic movies.
Hold
just
on to your
see.
butts.
Yeah, and we're like, oh my
Love
god.
Jeff Goldblum.
Like we counted. We were like, okay. Trying to watch the
Yeah.
movie, but also be like, okay, yep, he's black. He died.
Yep. Gonzo.
The dinosaur ate him.
Yeah.
like you
Yep,
see it right
right
there.
at the gate.
Also, dinosaur eats the lawyer. What does that
Yeah,
say?
but then I was also like, I didn't know Samuel L. Jackson was in
literally, what's his
Jaws,
name from
and
Jurassic
he
Park?
like dies doing his speech or something.
I don't even remember him dying on screen.
No,
Like,
he gets
No,
killed
he-
off screen.
Yeah, he gets killed
Yeah,
off screen.
you-
His line is, "Hold on to your butts." They restarted the fucking
Yeah,
mainframe.
And
you
he's
hear
got to
him, and
go
then he's
check
gone.
the power circuit.
Yeah,
and then
and
she
then-
like goes in his arms like,
His arm is hanging onto like a power cord.
But we're like, there he is. He's dead. We had
Yeah.
to count how many people, white, Mexican, like whatever, and it was like, oh my.
That's
God.
true.
because I was saying, I think it was
As
to
it should
Doug.
be.
I think it was,
I'm kidding.
I think
I'm
it
kidding.
was to Doug that in the first Michael Bay Transformers movie,
Okay.
the robots learn how to speak through radio and
Oh, it
media,
was- you
right?
told
Yeah, it was
me.
you. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
And it was
It was
the
Bumblebee.
one Autobot that dies in this movie is Jazz, who is a very bad stereotype of a black person. And
What do you
the-
mean?
And he's the only
How is he depicted, Nick?
first line from Jazz is, "This looks like a cool place to kick it."
Oh
And he
my
goes,
God.
and then he goes, "What's poppin', bitches?" And he says that. I'm like, "Wow, you went hard on that."
And what car does Jazz transform into?
don't
Isn't it
even
a Supra or something?
I don't know.
It's in the original show. He's a Porsche.
And it's not a lowrider?
It's like I don't know what it is, but it's like I thought it was a Porsche. It was
Or a
supposed to be a
Cadillac?
Porsche because that's what
Okay.
he is in the old show.
Gotcha.
And
Porsche.
and he's the only one that dies in the
was a
first movie,
Pontiac.
Autobot wise. Oh,
He was a Pontiac.
so,
think so.
but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was like, I
Can you
can't.
show me?
Like, because they have the picture of him as the, like, is that what he looked like in the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was Pontiac.
and I was like, wow. Looking back on it, I didn't connect the dots, but I'm like, the one that they decided to become like a black transformer dies, and that's the only one that dies in the first one.
Yeah.
And
Michael
then there's-
Bay, answer for this.
And then each movie, they get progressively more, like, they get other races and ethnicities and make Transformers just like the Hispanic Transformers in the second movie. There's like a hyper Italian one in the third one.
Yep.
And then there's like, I think there's like a French one. It's just they keep going worse and worse. Each time, I'm like, they're making it worse each time.
They're making it worse.
It's impressive because the first one, when you look back on it, pretty bad. And then they just were like, let's keep going. How crazy can we get? Because they're just robots.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when you look up Jazz, the fictional character, it says on Google, he is usually portrayed as a music-loving robot that speaks using African American vernacular English.
AAVE, baby.
Eubonics.
Yep.
Black scent.
He's also Optimus Prime's good friend and right-hand man
Until he dies.
until he
Till
dies.
he's torn in half. Spoiler alert, if you like Jazz, you're not going to like what happens to him at the end of the movie. So, yeah.
Yep. Horror films, though,
I
are...
haven't really found my favorite horror. Actually, that's a lie. I really like The Black Phone and Midsummer.
Black Phone's really good.
that's with Ethan Hawke, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Would you consider Midsummer a horror movie?
A thriller, at least, I feel like
Yeah.
horror movies are really getting
like a
into
psychological
the psychological thing, And sometimes
Midsommar
I get it, and
was-
sometimes I don't.
Midsummer, yeah, it didn't scare me, but it was making me uncomfortable
It fucked with me.
for
That's
the
sure.
whole time.
But I loved it.
Oh, me too. I was like, man, this is a good time. Yeah. But the whole time I was like, It's like a scene where they're all like moaning. They're all like, and I just started doing it with them because I was freaking out. I was like,
Because you don't want them to turn on you.
yeah. I was like, I just gotta be part
Join
of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what the main
full
character-
group
Yeah.
think. That's
It's-
funny. I recently saw Smile. Did you see Smile?
No,
Yes.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Smile was good.
Oh,
good?
oh
Was it?
boy.
Was it like, am I going to get scared? Because, like,
Yeah.
There's a
I've-
part where I literally went like, I went like,
Every jump scare got me.
no, yeah.
Really?
There's one with like the sister, I think. She like walks up to the car.
Oh my God, yeah.
That one I
I
literally.
saw the trailer for
That one, I literally went
Like,
like,
they
I
had that
like, I
scene.
got out, like in the theater. I went, Jesus Christ, and I like yelled so loud because it got me so bad.
Yeah, that one, yeah. that
Each
was
one
bad.
got me because I wasn't prepped for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it'll get you.
There's a rule
Which
that I
I like
have.
it.
If I know that a movie is going to be scary, I either have to watch it during the day
Mm-hmm.
or I can't watch it at my house.
Oh, my
that's-
rules, lights off. We're getting into it.
You got to get that immersion. I kind of go back and forth about the whole lights thing because my partner is a scaredy cat. But yeah, if I had my way, it'd be lights out, popcorn, just yeah,
Yeah,
because it's all about the immersion.
Yeah. That's what
I like being immersed in the film.
Yeah.
I get
You
annoyed.
can't pause every half hour. You can't take breaks.
Yeah, there's a friend
None
of
of
mine.
that.
Because-
There's a friend of mine that always asks questions like, why,
Stop talking.
What's this guy doing? I'm like, well, you watch the movie and you'll find out what he's doing. That's why we're here. I don't know. I didn't write it.
Oh, man. I usually don't get scared by jump scares, but there's
Watch Smile.
Don't Breathe. Did you ever watch that
Is
movie?
that the one with like the girl's deaf or something?
So they go to
There's a
rob
Hush.
this deaf guy's house.
Oh, the blind guy.
It's
Yeah, or
it's
the
a
blind guy. Yeah, the blind guy's house.
it's a reverse home invasion story.
Yeah, basically. And there had been like I think 2 jump scares prior, but there was one where they thought he was dead, and
Okay.
I was like, yeah. I was totally like I was like, yeah, in the mind space with the movie. And I wasn't expecting the jump scene because before it, I was watching it with my friend and she was like, oh, look at this real quick. And I turned back and there he is. And I was like,
Oh,
my God. I was like,
I think
I was not prepared.
one of
for
the
that.
worst jump scares is like the latest Blair Witch movie that came out.
they made a latest one.
Really?
Well, it wasn't like recent. It was like 2018.
Oh, just wait.
It's
What?
the most recent one.
Have you
And-
guys seen the original Blair Witch?
Yes.
I have not. But this new one got me so many times with the jump scares. And they didn't explain one thing, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's like a Wendigo in the movie.
If you had seen the original, probably it would make more sense.
Okay, well then there's definitely one in the thing, but there's like a scene where someone's like, it's like the found footage, so it's like the camera, and he turns real quick, and then you see the thing like in the woods, ooh, and goes behind a tree like a Wendigo. And I was like,
Oh,
what is
I
that?
see what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and I was like,
yeah.
what was that? And then they just like, then they like move on to another person. I'm like, what the hell was in the woods? And I was like, there's something in there. And then you see it again later. And I'm like,
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
good. There's a movie called Antlers, which is like a Wendigo movie.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it was good. I didn't see the climactic last half. We fell asleep watching it.
Oh boy.
But that's because we were watching it at like 1 a.m. Long day. We're like, let's watch a horror movie.
Not a good
And
time
then
to
we're
start
like-
a film.
And because like the most horror movies, the first half is,
It's the setup.
It's all set up. And so we watched the whole setup and then we fell asleep.
with no payoff.
Yeah. And then we woke up and we're like,
That
well, pretty good.
Pretty good setup.
So I'm gonna have to rewatch that again to see if
That's
it's actually
funny.
scary or not. There's a movie called what is it? The Ritual on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
Very good horror movie. Very good. It's like a bunch of guys are like, let's do like a hiking backpacking trip across like the like Netherlands or something like
Yeah.
that.
Netherlands?
No, it's like
Finland.
I think it's Finland. I think.
One of those Scandinavian
Yeah.
pagan countries.
Yeah, and there's like a pagan community in the woods.
Oh.
Yeah.
But there's a thing in
This
the
looks
woods.
like a Wendigo.
There's like a pagan thing that lives that they pray to,
Oh yeah.
and it's like
Oh wow.
the son of like
I actually
Loki
like the
or
way
some
this
kind of
thing
creature.
looks.
Cool.
And it was like the very creepy looking creature design, but you don't see it a lot until the very end where you see the full creature reveal and
Yeah.
stuff. But the times you see like little pieces of it and stuff, oh, it's such a good build up.
Yeah.
The whole movie's so good.
No, yeah.
Highly recommend.
I'm
The
looking
Ritual.
at it and just the silhouette, just by the silhouette, it looks cool. I'm watching Incantation right now. It was
What's that?
so it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, and basically it's like about this mom who did like this spell kind of thing, and now she's getting like the
Yep.
consequences of it.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that's gonna
I
happen.
haven't
It'll do it.
there's have been no like images of like ghosts or anything, but I have been trying to watch this movie for like 4 months and I have only gotten 45 minutes in because it is actually like shook me. I am like terrified. Like I want to finish it because it's good, but I'm just like
It gets you too much
it
each
gets
time.
too much. Like every time I started watching it, here, but then sometimes like I'd be watching in the office because I'm like I can't watch this alone.
Yeah.
But then people would leave and I'm like I have to pause it.
Guys, please.
Come back.
Come back. I'm watching a scary movie. Can't watch without you.
So, but it's like good. I think it's like a Thai movie or something.
I think I've heard of this.
But
I heard there's some movie on Netflix that's like I genuinely super like you can't watch it alone.
that's
So
why I
feel
keep
like
watching
probably
it
is that
here
movie.
in the office because I'm like, there's people in the office all the time. I'm safe
With the lights on.
with the lights
Yeah.
on, but then sometimes they'll leave, and I'm like, well, shit.
There's some zombie movie that's on Netflix. It's like a Korean movie
Oh,
yeah.
where
is
he's
it
like a guy in an apartment and he has like
alive? #alive.
I think
I
so.
haven't seen it.
That one was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I think I saw the story recapped of that movie.
Yeah, I
It was-
watched the
it was
trailers
quite
a
enjoyable
lot
to
'cause I really
watch.
wanted to watch
Because
it.
one of those ones where like the zombies retain their like cognitive ability
Yeah.
of what they did as they're alive. So there's like
That's-
there's like a
that's
scene that's
nice.
like a fireman. There's like firemen that are zombies, and they like get their axes and they start doing stuff. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
That's a bad apocalypse to be in.
that's
yeah.
You don't have a you don't
Not
That's
have
ideal.
worse than World War Z.
Yeah.
I don't care if those things are running full force at me and they don't have their cognitive abilities.
yeah. If
then
they're
I'm
running like at
pissed.
Mach 8 and they're dumb as
Mach
as
8.
hell. These things are the Flash,
Eight times the speed of sound, Nick.
and they're just dumb as hell. I'm chilling.
No,
But if they're I'm like,
axe wielding
but
zombie.
if I like walk up by and this zombie's just doing like fucking checkmate on a chessboard, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'd be like, take me now,
Yeah,
please.
you got it. I'd be like, no, and then he just goes over and just bites me on the neck because I'm too shook.
There's a janitor zombie just taking the trash out of the bin.
That'd be a chill apocalypse.
That'd
Actually,
be
they just
really
continue to
funny.
do their jobs,
Yeah.
but they're zombies. Like, hey, bathroom's looking really clean. He's like, great job.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah,
Write that down. Write that down, guys.
write that down.
Hear that now.
Trademark it.
Okay, what's your guys' favorite zombie movie then?
Ooh. Favorite zombie movie? Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
I mean, that's just a classic. That's,
Yeah.
You can't top that really.
That's kind of more of a comedy, though.
Yeah.
But
See,
it's-
I also like not World War Z, Zombieland, but it's also kind of comedy. There's not really like a serious zombie movie that like makes me like spooked. Like I feel like what's that? I Am Legend is zombie.
Yeah,
kind
that's
Was that zombie?
that's
zombie? You think?
that's controversial. In my take, I Am Legend is zombie.
Okay.
People just call them like, oh, they're vampires or
Something
they're,
like that,
they're
yeah.
mutants or whatever.
yeah.
But they're just
That's like a
They're
dramatic
zombies.
zombie movie. Good, but it doesn't like. I feel like if it's like a
it's depressing. Oh man, the scene where he with the dog.
Stop
So-
it.
Spoiler alert.
Shut
If you're a fan of the dog, you are not gonna like when I was a dog at the end.
The gender reveal.
Gender.
So, yeah, I think
He smothers the dog when it's turning into a zombie dog,
no one's safe in that.
No one's safe.
Nothing is safe.
and he's
That's a
and,
scary
he's, and he's
apocalypse.
singing Bob Marley to it as
Yeah.
he's choking it to death. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh man.
a world, where there's
Little baby.
But mind you, that was Will Smith before we don't like him anymore.
tough break,
Tough break.
tough break.
Just keep his wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
Yeah, just don't. I would be cautious. I'd be hesitant to bring her name up
Yeah.
personally.
Okay, what other zombie films?
I mean,
My favorite is Train to Busan.
Interesting.
I've been meaning to watch it. I haven't.
I have cried every single time I have watched that movie, and I've watched it a lot because I'm like, I can't cry for the fourth time. Prove me
Unheard of.
wrong.
I'm not a fourth time crier.
It's
Make me cry once, sure. 2 times, absolutely. 3 times, that's your last
shame
one.
on me.
yeah.
That's the last one. You're not gonna get a 4th time.
4, no tears.
No tears. Dried up. Sorry.
Actually, I really like Shaun of the Dead, but I'm a Romero fanboy, so my real answer is Dawn of the Dead, the 1972 original.
I see.
Okay.
Giant Mall of America. They seal it up. Good story.
I would say like my second favorite movie, zombie movie, 28 Days Later.
Yeah, that's a
It's
vampire.
yes.
Oh wait, no,
Well,
28 days later. No,
28
yeah.
Days Later
I was thinking of
is-
28 Days of Darkness.
No, that
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
yeah.
zombie movie.
Absolutely.
It's a pretty
I don't
good
think
one.
I've seen that one.
It's before zombie movies were popular. this
Cillian Murphy,
movie came
young
out.
Cillian Murphy,
Really?
2002, I think.
You saw Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
First episode, it was basically like
Remember when Rick wakes up from a coma in the hospital?
that's what
There's
they
been a
do.
meme circulating that's just the guy, what's his name? John Berthal's character.
John Bernthal, yeah. Shane.
Shane, that's his character. His character, and he's like, "What is that? What is that?" And he comes running over, and it's like, it's always just like that clip where he's like, "What the hell is that?" And he comes running over, "What the hell?" And it's like me when I heard like my nephew turns on my PS5, and it's like him running over, "What the hell is that?" It's just things like that kill me. It's just like such a good scene.
But anyway, so like when Rick wakes up in the hospital and everything goes out into the town,
Yeah.
it's
He has
empty.
no
That is
idea.
basically
That's the beginning of the film.
28 Days
That's
Later.
good. That's
So
cool.
Cillian Murphy is a bike messenger who gets like
Yeah,
gets in an accident.
yeah.
Brain
Wasn't-
damaged. He wakes up literally 28 days later after the
Whole thing happened.
he wakes up in a hospital.
Snap.
It's
Yeah.
abandoned. He's like walking the street and like his
There's
like
papers everywhere.
yeah.
He's figuring out his like,
yeah.
well, what the fuck happened? It's a good movie.
Just a quick slide off of zombie movies for a sec.
Yes.
Have you either of you seen what's it called?
Don't know. What is it called?
What is it?
What is it called?
It's the A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh,
We watched part 2 recently, like last
So
month.
Cillian
good.
Murphy's in that too.
In part
Yes.
2, he is, and he did a great
first
job.
one I saw it in theaters when it came out.
Oh, me too.
Was one of the worst experiences ever. Like such a good movie.
Yeah?
But my anxiety has never been higher. I wore a windbreaker.
Oh my god.
There's no sound in the theater. And I moved once, it's like, and I was like, all right. And I literally was gripping the chair so hard to not move. But then,
Why didn't you just take it off during like?
I
Four-
actually like remind myself to breathe. 'cause
yeah,
I was
no,
like
4 rows below me, I could hear someone's phone vibrate in their pocket.
it was dead silent.
Like, it's that quiet in the theater. And I was like, I've never had such a, like, it was like a sensory deprivation,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
group chamber.
Oh,
That's
man.
awesome.
Left the movie theater, and I was at the downtown one at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Every noise was so much louder and freaked me out that I've never like gotten home faster and got in my room and just was like, I need to be alone.
Coming out of the movie theater was like
You hear like a car honking, and you're like, what the
I
fuck are
was
you
like,
doing?
Jesus Christ. Can hear people talking from down the hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, where are they?
My senses were dog like for a minute. I was just like, I hear a car like 8 blocks away, and I'm like,
I'm like, where's the music coming from?
Such
It's like
a-
2 blocks away.
such a good movie.
Such
a good movie. Second one was really good too. I enjoyed the second one.
It was good.
But yeah, zombie movies. There's that one. It's like a romantic zombie movie. The zombies like falls in love with some
Warm
girl.
Bodies?
Warm bodies. That's a funny one.
I kind of enjoyed that one.
At this point, we have almost had every subgenre of zombie, film.
movie
Yeah.
you could have.
Like a fucking rom-com zom.
Yeah.
A zom rom-com.
And then he kind of turns back into a human, I think.
yeah, yeah,
Would
literally.
you consider Frankenstein? Yeah, he does. I think
Yeah.
it brings him back to life.
Frankenstein's one of those like edge cases where it's almost a zombie sci-fi in the sense that you could argue it is both a zombie film and a robot
A
film,
multi-genre movie.
where the creation, you know, Frankenstein.
Because Young
being in it.
Frankenstein, that might be my favorite zombie movie. He does like a "You don't want to get the one," and he's like tap dancing. He's Frankenstein's monster.
take on the Ritz.
Oh, my
This is
Lord.
Frankenstein's monster. There's like a scene where he's like, he's in the room and
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go in this room, lock the door. No matter what I do, if I beg, don't open the door.
Yeah,
and then he's like in there and he's getting like thrown around. He's like, open the door.
Isn't that Mel Brooks?
No, it's not Mel Brooks. Like the directing?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I forget his name, but it's the guy who plays Willy Wonka in the original Willy Wonka.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, he plays Frankenstein.
Yeah. Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks. have had a-
Frankenstein, I think. But he's like, let me out. Forget what I said. Forget what I said. And he's like, but you told me not to open. He's like, no, please. He's like, I'm in charge. Open that. He's just getting through.
Yeah, you've got good taste.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
you've got good taste.
That's my number one zombie. I don't think I've seen enough. Like I haven't seen a big scope, so I'm gonna say that's
Okay.
it's on the cusp, but it might be my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I mean, George A.
do-
Romero is the grandfather
seen
of the
that?
genre. so.
Have you seen that newer zombie movie? Came out 21, I think, or 22. It's got Dave Bautista.
You mean
Oh,
Army of the Dead?
Yeah,
That's
That
a-
was
that's a
good.
joke.
Okay,
because
honestly,
that
I
one seemed like
enjoyed
just
it.
You know, it's entertaining.
Like, they still kind of have like consciousness. the
Yeah.
Zombies.
Well, there's like the king zombie who infects everybody, and then they are like kind of slaves. And then
Yeah.
if those slaves
like
infect
hive
other
mind
people,
kind of
Oh.
thing.
then they're just drones.
like the Lich King from World of Warcraft.
yeah, just like that.
But it's funny. They're doing a heist in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Like,
Yeah,
nice.
they're breaking into a Vegas casino
I did-
vault.
I
Yeah.
liked the prequel.
They're still trying to steal stuff. I didn't never saw it. They're just trying to steal
It's
stuff.
a convoluted plot.
It's. They
And then
could've
there's, like, a
done
subplot,
better,
yeah.
But it was.
feel like
I thought it was okay.
a lot of.
I
like-
liked it.
It was.
But it was
entertaining,
silly.
That's for sure.
Do you
It
agree?
was
I feel
silly.
like zombie movies are hard to do.
They are now.
I feel like just like it's a saturated genre for sure.
There's so much.
but I feel like even
Yeah.
when it wasn't saturated, most zombie movies, I feel like are hard to grip you. Like none of them
It's-
gripped
See,
me that hard.
that's
Like
one of the reasons why I like
I
Train
Am
to Busan.
Legend
yeah.
gripped me.
Yeah.
The hashtag Alive one that gripped me because it's like you get invested in the character, but I feel like a lot of them you don't get that kind of thing.
I think the problem is with Hollywood style cinema trying to do zombie film. It's so cliched at this point. You can expect what the plot is. You know, all the characters are
which
just
is why
derivatives.
The Last of Us is so freaking good. You
Oh
know,
my.
because we know it evolved from a thing that actually exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Those
it's
types of
good.
things are very, I think, touchy.
What?
Adaptions.
Oh,
Maybe-
adaptations. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
things where, like, if you stick to the source material, you got a lot of good content,
Yeah.
and the writer's like, well,
Seasons
what if we
1
mix it
through
up here?
7 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and it's like, what if we mix it up? And it's like,
Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
it's like season 1 and 2 of The Witcher, really good, and
Yeah.
then now Henry Cavill left because they're like, yeah, the writers and the producers want to do their own thing instead of sticking to what was like in the books, which
Yeah.
is something he was super like promoting. Was like, I want to stick to the source material, not the games, but the books, the
Yeah.
original thing. And he did a really good job, and then they stopped doing it. He's like, I don't want to be part of this project because they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I see adaptions, I like it when they stick to that kind of stuff.
I mean, so far they're doing great and they're giving us information. Like,
That's what I heard. I heard the
that the
show's great. I haven't
game
seen it yet.
creators and writers were like, we wish we put this in the game,
'Cause
but we
it's-
didn't. But now we have a second chance to give you this information.
That's good.
That's cool.
They did. Like, what?
I think the one thing that gets a give from that is like Marvel movies.
Mm.
I think Marvel movies and DC movies can give a little bit where it's like they can do like sort of things similar to plot lines in the comics. But I saw something that was really good when they talked about, it was like a recent article about Kang, the new big bad, where it's like we want to write different stories than that's in the comics because he's such a complex character that if we do everything in the comics, you're gonna know all his tricks and everything if we do it exactly.
Yeah.
So we gotta do our own thing, but take from the source.
90% similar, 10% curveball.
Yeah, so you don't see exactly what's going to happen because it's not exactly the same, but it follows enough where you can be satisfied with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to do. I get so distracted in my own like train of thoughts.
did we-
I was gonna do the intro while you were gone,
we
That
forgot
would've
to do
been
the
funny.
intro,
and I
that's
forgot.
right.
I was so invested in your
I'm
story of you
so
falling down the
I
stairs
know.
that I forgot about it because I was like, oh, that should be so funny. I'm like, all right, let's do introductions, and I'm like, Doug left, and I because it would have built up me saying I'm your friend, and then Doug actually doesn't even care. He's not here. And I had it, and I was excited about it. Forgot.
That was your perfect opportunity.
I blew it.
Hey, I mean, my story was pretty entertaining.
I
not gonna lie.
cannot wait to hear it.
Forgot. Yeah, you were here.
Oh man, this is a longer episode.
Oh,
We've been
man.
going for a minute 36.
Jeez.
Hour 36.
God.
Should we just hit that 45 mark? And
No.
Just a nice hour 3/4.
let's like just do a marathon.
Yeah.
Order some food. We can go to midnight.
How long you guys are good for? Yeah, I got. Oh my goodness! Look at the time.
I know. I was
All
like,
right.
Jesus Christ.
Well, thanks for listening.
I'm Trinity.
Welcome. This has been the OK Chaos podcast. I'm your host, Doug.
I'm your host, Trinity.
I am your close friend, Nick.
Close friend at
I'm your
this
pen
time.
pal,
At
Nick.
this
Yeah,
point.
thanks for
Pen
writing
pal.
to me, everybody. I really,
Oh,
really
and
enjoyed
also,
your letters.
thanks for mentioning writing. We now have an email address that people can send their fan mail to. It is okchaospodmail@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we are streaming on wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
Except Apple Music.
Not yet.
Except
Not
Apple
yet.
Music, that's right.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's in the works,
But we
folks.
have a logo now.
Maybe you'll see it right
Whenever.
now.
Right. You're looking at it. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah.
How's it look?
You like it.
How's
I
it
can
look?
tell. I can see that look on your face. You like
Yeah,
it.
you see all those icons in the corner? That's us.
That's lore. That's OK Chaos Podcast lore right
No,
there.
you gotta guess.
If you've
who's who.
heard those episodes, you get it.
Yeah, write down below.
Well, except for
send us
mine. You
emails
won't get it
guessing
yet.
what's
You
what
will.
and what does it pertain to,
Yeah.
what episode it's from.
Mm.
Do a little timestamp,
Yeah.
and I'll send you mail back.
And this will be on the midterm.
Yeah, this one. I hope you were taking notes.
Yep.
All right. Well, please
Signing
leave us
out.
Some 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Get out of here. Go.
Thanks.
Bye.